Hey guys, this is Arun from the Digital Deepak team. In this video, we're going to see what exactly social media landing pages are, and I'm going to show you how to build a high converting social media landing page through an example and a walkthrough. Before we get into the nitty-gritties of building a social media landing page, it's important that we first understand what exactly social media landing pages are. Many of you, and even you have like a basic understanding of what digital marketing is, you would be knowing what exactly landing pages are. Basically, landing pages are built so that a single marketing objective is fulfilled. For instance, you might build a landing page for capturing an email or a registration or a interest in a service or maybe buy a product. So these exactly is called landing pages, but there is a difference between a landing page and a social media landing page. A social media landing page has every attribute of a regular landing page, like maybe you are selling a product on a social media landing page. A social media landing page, just like a ordinary landing page, might have a newsletter sign up. A social media landing page, just like a regular landing page, might have a lead generation system. And apart from these qualities, social media landing pages have these aspects. A social media landing page will have systems to improve share count. It will aim for virality. For instance, it might have a piece of content, and to access more content, the page might ask the user to retweet or share it on Facebook with their friends. Or the social media landing page can have a list of comments, maybe on Facebook or Discuss or native WordPress or Drupal comments, so that a conversation happens around that content. So now let's go ahead and see what exactly do you need to build a high converting social media landing page. For this, you will need 7 elements of social media landing page. The first element is to use magnetic headlines. A good magnetic headline, or a headline which will attract people to click and read through the first sentence, the second sentence, the paragraph, and the complete blog post, is to communicate benefit. Until you communicate a benefit in the headline, the person might not be inclined towards clicking on that link. So make sure you mention that in the headline. Number 2 would be you have to trigger a positive emotional response. This is important because there are multiple things which are trying to get our attention, and if your headline is like just another headline, maybe everybody is trying to post 5 tips to lose weight or 5 tips to grow taller, those kind of vague headlines or headlines which you have read in any other newspaper like Times of India or Deccan Chronicle, they are not going to entice user to actually click on it. You have to use headlines which will trigger an emotional response, and it should be a positive emotional response, because ultimately you would like to spread positivity in the world that's there. But people are committed to action when they're triggered by a positive emotional response over negative emotional response. The number 3 is to write list posts. List posts, although it has been overused and abused by many publishers online for years and decades maybe, but still they work. People like to consume content fast, and list posts give them the confidence that if I click on that link, I will be able to consume information fast. So list posts always work. Number 4 is write how-to guides. People are looking to solve their problems, and how to is a great way of elucidating on a topic and telling that do this, and it's gonna work. So how to guides is something people have a tendency to click on, and they get much more clicks on Twitter and Facebook or other social media platforms, because people are generally looking to solve their problems. Number 5 would be empathize with the pain point, because in the world where everybody is trying to sell and get attention, once you empathize with the pain point, the user feels, oh, somebody finally understands what I'm trying to say. Somebody finally understands the pain I'm going through every day. So once you mention the same in the headline, the user is much more inclined to click on it, because he wants to further investigate into what you have to say. So now that we know how to create magnetic headlines, and creating a magnetic headline is not going to happen just in a single sitting, and it's a skill which you master over a period of time. I will give you a free tool which you can use to create magnetic headlines, and this tool is one of my favorite tool. And what this tool basically does is, whenever you enter headline, it tells you whether your headline has a potential to go viral, whether your headline has a potential to create an emotional response, does it communicate benefit, or any of the topics which we are discussed in this particular slide. So I'm going to take you to co-schedule headline analyzer, and I'm going to walk you through how exactly to use this tool. So currently I'm in co-schedule headline analyzer. What I'll do is I'll type in a headline which I'm planning for my next blog post. So I'm planning something like 21 life lessons from 6 years of work. I want to see what co-schedule thinks of this particular headline, and hit enter. And yes, it will ask me for my details. And what business you have? I'm a solopreneur. How many folks flying solo? What is the main focus to establish? Sign me up. Just create this free account. It doesn't take much time, and co-schedule has amazing tools like this, and it has great content, so it's worth signing up. So the tool has come up with the results, and this is what it says. Word balance, I use common terms, it's saying good. Uncommon 26%. Emotional response. So for this particular headline, co-schedule headline analyzer doesn't think that it can elicit an emotional response in the mind of the user. So I have to work on that particular aspect. Maybe I have to use a word like 21 life lessons from 6 years of struggle. Yeah, struggle would be more of empathy. People who are struggling at work, maybe that would give more empathy, and struggle would mean, and struggle is a part of hero's journey, so maybe it would work. And power is saying increase the number of power words in your headline. So power words are basically instantly, free, best. These are the words people are looking for, and when people see these kind of words in the headline, they're more inclined to click. So it's giving headline tips, how to write great headlines, what makes emotional headlines so powerful. Just so make sure you go through this analysis of length of the overall structure, grammar, and readability of the headline. So it's analyzing the number of words and characters, and it's suggesting how long the words or characters should be. Your headline is the right length. Headlines 55 characters long tend to earn the highest number of click-throughs. Your headline is the right length. Headlines with about 6 words tend to earn the highest number of click-throughs. Okay, cool. I'm doing good there. So sentiment is neutral. Maybe I should make it much more positive. And this is how the headline looks in Google search engine, and this is how it will look on email subject line, and this is how it might. So the link to this tool, I'll share it in the text section, so do look it out. Now we'll go back to looking at the other important elements of building a great social media landing page. You should always ask for a social share. Since we are creating this landing page with a mission that people will come to that page, find the content very interesting, share that content, and also opt in for a form, maybe subscribe to our email list or download an ebook. And our major traffic source when we are building a social media landing page is not SEO or PPC AdWords. We are going to build this landing page to get large amount of social share traffic. I want traffic from every social network out there, and for that to happen, I would like to leverage the audience who are already on the page to amplify that content, so that my chances of making the content viral will be very high. So the next element which you should be using is use a short video. Videos can improve the conversion rates to a high level. This is research by Tripodia. So they have done a research on e-commerce product pages. They have seen that whenever a product page has a particular video about that product, giving users a very close feel with that product, the conversion rates shoot up. So you have to use a video, but you make sure the video is very short, because the traffic is social media traffic. People might not be inclined to stay on a page for long duration of time. So make the video short, but at the same time offer value, so that the conversion rates, which is the email opt-ins or the social shares, go up. The next item would be add relevant content. So content is the key, and ultimately you would like to sell content, and people would like your content, and maybe they will subscribe to it, and over a period of few emails and email automation, they would end up buying your product or service. This is how inbound marketing works, and the first step of that process is writing great content. And your content should actually solve a problem and fill a content gap in the industry. And the other element, the fifth element of a great social media landing page, is have a specific call to action. And also remember that no matter what kind of landing page you build, be a social media landing page or AdWords landing page or some email landing page or squeeze page, there is only one objective which the landing page has to fulfill. If you're trying to fulfill more than one objective, for instance, you would want to convert the user into an email subscriber and also making buy the product, then it's not clear for the user to what exactly he is supposed to do here. So my suggestion here is your social media landing page should have an email opt-in. Yes, because ultimately we would like people to enter our email list, because that's where the money is in the list. And the secondary call to action would be to inform them to share the content among their friends, which is on social media, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook. That would be the secondary call to action, I would say. So my focus for that page would be to prominently place an email opt-in, and also make sure that people who like that content share that content on social media. The sixth element is have an opt-in form. This is very important. Opt-in forms can be of multiple forms, which is maybe a pop-up or a pop under or a exit form or full page screen email opt-in, which you see in many websites these days. They use tools like opt-in master or opt-in monk. But have an opt-in form, that's the bottom line. And in your opt-in form, ask the name and email ID, and maybe you can give away a free ebook so that it will entice the user to actually go and fill in his details and get that ebook once he has something tangible to get and something to read over the weekend or the next few hours. He would be having a great relationship with your brand. So have an opt-in form. That is one of the most major important aspect of a social media landing page, because a person who has come through social media is not looking to directly buy from you or trying to say, hey dude, I want your services. There is a process, and the first step of the process is to get the email ID and name of that person. So the seventh element is encourage a conversation. Whenever you encourage a conversation, there are two things which will happen. One is your own knowledge will improve, and the people who come to your website will get multiple perspectives of this from other thought leaders in the industry. And number two is, as a person adds content, as if a website gets like 200 comments on a particular blog post, that means a huge chunk of text is being added by people around the world, and this is kind of crowdsourced content, and Google does pay way to this content. This comes under as a social signal, and that text is also added as a part of this page, because the person who lands up on that page ends up reading it. So SEO benefits are also there when you encourage your conversation. And since people who come from social media are usually in the mindset of having a conversation, make sure you have systems which will help people have a conversation, as in you install Facebook comments section in your Facebook blog post, or you have a discuss comment system within your post, or maybe you can have a WordPress with a comment love plugin so that people get a link back, and that's an incentive for people to comment on that particular blog post. Now we're going to look into few social media landing page examples. The first example for social media landing pages by Ramit Sethi, I will teach you to be rich. This is a landing page. So he has an amazing headline, the 80 by 20 guide to finding a job you love. So love is emotion which will entice the users to click on it, and a person who has landed on this page would be more inclined to read what he has to say. Guide, yeah, as I told, guides definitely help you entice the user. A job, yes, finding a job, this is basically communicating value to the user upfront. So if you read this particular blog post, you're gonna know how to find a job you love. So he's communicating benefit here. So he has written a great headline. So let's go further. So here he's having a conversational type of writing. So hi, I'm Ramit Sethi. He's establishing trust by saying New York Times best-selling author. So he's having a content which is more conversational. So this conversational type of writing is very useful when you are trying to target this landing page on a social media platform, because people who come from social media is looking for conversation and connection. So this kind of approach definitely works. In this video you will get insider information. Thousands of students have already used to get out of the rut, get raises and all that. So he has mentioned this benefits on why he should be clicking on the play button on this video. He has mentioned all the benefits beautifully. A simple word for word script that can save you years of wasted time. Invisible scripts that affect your behavior without us even knowing it. And then immediately after the video he has mentioned sign up. Why don't you sign up? See, I'll sign up. Why not? Arun and Kutapal here, my email ID. I'm already a member of this club and I just hit get instant access. Again, he is establishing trust by mentioning all the places where he has been featured. And if I was a consultant for this particular person, I would suggest him to paste a social media sharing buttons here, because this is great content. I have read this before and I have watched this video also before, and if a person likes this content, he would like to share it, and for that I would like to place at least 3 popular social media platform sharing buttons. I would definitely go with Facebook, and then I would go with LinkedIn, because this is very much job oriented, career oriented question. So job oriented, so LinkedIn, and maybe I'll add Twitter too. So at least 3 social media buttons hanging around, floating around, so that wherever I am on the page, those things stick out. The second social media landing page is by backlinko.com. This is one of my favorite websites. It's mainly because it gives extensive amount of content on a very niche topic. So this is an example of a great social media landing page. So if you see the header is very much minimized. There are only 3 links here, and the content is very visual. So people who come from social media channels is like looking to entertain themselves and educate themselves at both at the same time. It's more of an entertainment. So it's like the definitive guide. So link building for SEO, the definitive guide 2017 update. So 2017 update as a phrase is helping users to understand that this particular guide is updated, and this is the most recent guide. I'm in 2017, yes, this is the guide I should be reading. So this particular thing might stand out in Google search results page. So he's communicating benefit. But if I would like to improve this particular headline, so my title would be link building for SEO, start building some serious links in 2017. That would be my title, because start building some serious links would be enticing the user to click on it. So that's how I would like to improve that headline, but this is good because it's still communicating value. So it's visual, that's what I love about this. And they have an option to download this PDF because it's an extensive article which goes on and on, it's like 10,000 words or something. So it has given an option to download the book. So here are the contents. So by chapter, so if I click on the chapter, within the same page it does a hyperlink and it goes on and on and on. So 373 comments he has got, and before the comment section starts he has a couple of social media buttons. There are 2 social media buttons on the left. Always as you scroll, the social media button says here, and the social media button says about 5,000 people shared on Twitter and 2,000 people shared on Facebook, which gives the social proof that this content is liked by many. And here again there is an opt-in form asking people to download the PDF, and this goes on, and then there is another opt-in form saying that subscribe for the free backlink on newsletter. So he has prioritized, he knows that he needs to get emails, so that is why at 3 places within a single social media landing page he has asked for an email opt-in. So that's it from this video. And if you find great social media landing pages, and if you have plans of starting a social media landing page, and if your landing pages are not good, for instance you might be running a Facebook ad campaign and maybe the landing page is not as good, do make sure you are implementing few of these strategies which I mentioned. And if you are stuck or have any learnings, just do share the same in the comment section below so that everybody in the community can benefit.